We're so ready to sing.
Want to come play with us? See, if you bring your instruments, look what happens.
Yeah, Bill Shafton comes into the sanctuary and has a guitar. We can't, yeah. This is a true story. Many years ago, this had nothing to do with Shabbat. Many years ago, I went over to a dear friend's house, and I packed my guitar, and I brought my tuner and my case. I tuned up my guitar, I brought my cables and my guitar amplifier. I was going to spend the night at his house, and I completely forgot to bring anything else, a toothbrush, a change of clothes, anything like that. I brought my guitar. So So this evening, we welcome in Shabbat. There's a story that goes like this. A group of people are sitting together, and one asks the group, "Where is God?" Now, there's a lot of different ways to answer that question, right? And so the different students, they answer it. They go about trying to address this question. The first says, God is up in the heavens. In those lofty places when we see majesty in our world, that's where God is. The person who asks the question says, it's close, but not entirely the answer. Another person says, God is in the holy books. Anytime we bring out our Torah scroll, we open up its pages and, maybe one of our young adults reads from the words inside. That's where God is. The person says, it's close, but that's not entirely it. Well, the students are puzzled. And one after the other try to answer the question, and none of them are able to fully address it until they turn to the teacher and they say, well, you tell us, where is God? And the teacher looks back at them and says, God is wherever we let God in. And so this evening, I invite us to let holiness into this space with the words of our prayers and the meditations and music of our hearts. So we continue on page 13. Ya'aloz Sadai. Sure. That's a Shabbos melody. That's Shabbat right there. Well, this evening is a celebration. And so the Kabbalists many years before us looked to this evening, to the opportunity and what this night represents, and said it's a celebration just like two people bringing their lives together. And so the poet Shlomo Alkabetz wrote a poem that we have brought into our liturgy that is so much a part of our service that I think it wouldn't feel like Shabbat without this particular poem, drawing the image of two people bringing their lives together. And so, not yet, but when we get to the final verse of this particular prayer, I'm going to invite us to turn to the door through which we entered our sanctuary and to rise as well. And in that moment, we will welcome in Shabbat here in this room as if she were joining us on her wedding day. We continue on page 20, Lecha Dodi.
Ya la 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 lecha dodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat. Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Ya la 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 lecha dodi. Ya la 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 likrat kala. Ya la 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 pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor vezachor bedibur echad ishmianu el hamyuchad Adonai echad u'shemo echad l'shem multiferet velitila Yai lai lai lecha dodi Yai lai lai likrat kala Yai lai pnei Shabbat nekabela Hitoreri Kiva orech Kumiori Uri Shidaberi Kivod Adonai Alaich nigla Yai lai lecha dodi Yai lai likrat kala Yai lai pnei Shabbat nekabela Boi veshalom Ateret bala Gam besimcha Uvsohola Tochem unei Am segula Boi chala Yai lai lecha dodi Yai lai likrat kala Yai P'nei Shabbat nekabela.
Please be seated. Another story. The story goes that every Shabbat, two angels follow us. One is a good angel and the other is a bad angel. And they just kind of peek in, see how we're doing. And if on Friday afternoon, as we're getting ready for Shabbat, we're running around, there's not really a moment of rest. We're not together with the people that we love and care about, or connecting or resting in some meaningful way. Instead, things are in disarray, and it's really like any other day of the week. The story goes that the bad angel gets to rub their hands together and say, "May all of your Shabbatot be just like this one." And the good angel, it says, has to say, "May it be so." But if on Friday afternoon the angels follow us and find us getting ready for this holiday, preparing either by setting out the table, getting ready for a moment of rest, or joining together and being with the people that we love and care about, stopping just for a moment in this week, well, then the good angel, the story goes, gets to rub their hands together and say, "May all of your Shabbatot be just like this one." And the bad angel has to say, "May it be so." The journey of building meaningful life, well, it happens one step at a time. And so we take this next step together. I invite us to welcome these angels with the words of Shalom Aleichem on page 24 of our prayer books.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei HaSharet, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Lochem LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Barchuni LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai lai. Tzedchem LaShalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon, Melech, Malachei HaMlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, HaKadosh Baruch HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
We have a young adult in our community taking his first steps as a leader, as a teenager, as a bar mitzvah and an adult this Shabbat that we begin this evening. And so it is my joy to call up Daniel and his family as we light the Shabbat candles together. It's the hardest part of the bar mitzvah, by the way.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Well, this next prayer has a call and response element. First, the one who's leading us in prayer, our Shaliach Tzibor, Shlicha Tzibor, Cantor Cooper, will call out. And that's the very first line, and you'll notice that she'll bow for that first line as well in humbleness of this role of leading all of us in prayer. And we respond. We respond with that second line and with a bow as well, knowing that this evening is quite simply not the same without each and every one of us in it. And so I invite us to turn to page 28 of our prayer books, and I invite us as well to rise in body or in spirit.
Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai 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 lai. Barechu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach, hamevorach le'olam va'ed. Hamevorach, hamevorach le'olam va'ed.
We continue to gather on page 30. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitbuna meshane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochabim, b'mishmeroteam berakia kirtzono, borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, Uma'avir yom umevi laila, uma'avdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzevaot shemo, El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed, Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv, aravim. Page 32.
Ahavat olam Beit Yisrael Amcha havta, Amcha havta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Otanu limadata, Otanu limadata. בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נגי יומם ולילה, נגי יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים, ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto, Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Please be seated. As we continue in our V'ahavta prayer, I'd like to call up Daniel to lead us as we describe in this prayer the passing down from generation to generation. So too do we hear from the lips of our newest generation these very same words that have inspired for generations.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה
אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם, ושבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשופך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך. למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Yasher koach, nicely done.
Well, we are a storytelling people. We love to gather and tell stories and wonder about them. And so we have a whole service, a whole practice around the act of unrolling that scroll and reading what it says in its words, but perhaps there's another layer of that as well. And that is not just taking these words and saying them, but really allowing them to move us and elevating the words all the way to a place of song, perhaps of prayer as well. And so too, as we live more deeply, by engaging more deeply in the world and life around us, so too do we do the same with our words. And so I invite us this evening, quite simply, to sing our story. We continue with the Mi Chamocha on page 40 of our prayer books.
Yai lai lai la lai 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 yai lai lai la lai 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 yai lai la lai lai yai lai 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 yai la lai lai yai lai 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 mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi chamocha neder b'kodesh nora tehillah Nora tehillah rosefele Malichutecha uvanecha Okeyom lifnei Moshe uMiriam Ze'elianu ve'amru Ze'elianu ve'ameru Adonai imloch le'olam Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lai lai la lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai la lai 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 lai. Yai lai la lai lai yai la lai 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 lai. Yai la lai lai yai lai 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 lai.
We continue with Hashkivenu on page 42 of our prayer books.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu. Can I play it with on the keyboard? Hashkivenu. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to do it in a different key. This is too low for me. Sorry.
It wasn't in C minor, which is the Jewish.
Ah.
There we go. Yeah.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Lehamidenu shomrenu lechaim. Spread the shelter of your peace over us. Guide us in wisdom, compassion, and trust. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Lehamidenu shomrenu lechaim. Save us for the sake of your name. Shield us from hatred, sorrow, and pain. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom Lehamidenu shomrenu lechaim lechaim lechaim. I've got my keys that I'm like, I don't know.
Well, as the Yiddish expression goes, before I speak, I'd like to say a few words. So too, to the rabbis give us the invitation before we pray to offer words of prayer. And that is what we have been doing. We have been offering those words that warm us up to the center of our service that we have now arrived to. But knowing that we are also sometimes not completely there yet. Sometimes we still are in the act of opening our hearts. In fact, likely the entire service is an action of opening our hearts. They place one last line right before our core of service, asking for help as we truly open ourselves up to the rest, the sweetness, and the meaning of this holiday. And so I invite us to turn to page 46 as we offer this line inviting ourselves into prayer. And I invite us as well to rise in body or in spirit.
Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai. Adonai, Sfatai tiftach. Ufi agite hilatecha, Adonai, Sfatai tiftach. Ufi agite hilatecha. Open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Adonai.
Adonai,
that my mouth may declare your glory. Adonai. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor ve'hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, V'zocher Hasdei Avot ve'imachot, U'mevii geula livnei v'neihem, Lema'an shemo be'ahava. Melech Ozer u'Moshia u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham ve'Ezrat Sarah. Atah gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah, Rav lechoshia, Mashiv haruach u'morid hagashem, Mechalkel chaim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim ve'rofei cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayim emunato, Lishaynei afar, Michamocha bagevurot, Umidom melach, Melech memid umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'emanat halehachayot hakol. Baruch atah Adonai, מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
We continue silently, either using the words we might find in the pages to follow, or other words we might find in our hearts. When you have completed your tefillah, your prayer, I invite you to be seated. We'll join back together on page 62.
יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי. אדוני צורי וגואלי, אדוני צורי וגואלי. My God, my rock and my redeemer, Adonai צורי וגואלי. My heart opens for you, my lips pray to you. Please, please shine through. רצון אמרי פי, והגיון ליבי לפניך, יהיו לרצון אמרי פי.
I can picture the word set out on the steps of my high school. And yes, I guess I will out myself that I am that much of a nerd. I went to a Jewish high school. And so they had on the steps of the high school, the world on which we live stands on three things. And many of us have even perhaps heard this phrase, familiar with it, right? I'm not gonna try to sing it that way, but I'll try to sing it a little bit. Maybe Cantor, you'll help me. Al shlosha devarim, right? Al shlosha devarim, al haTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Right? Okay, I get all the notes. All right. Everybody heard it. It's recorded. I got the notes. All right. So I've seen this set of words translated almost exactly the same time and time again into English, right? On these three things, the world stands. On Torah, it's pretty straightforward, right? Every once in a while, it gets translated as law or as the 5 books of Moses, but it's almost always Torah. And Gimilut Chasadim doesn't translate so well, but it almost always is translated as acts of loving kindness. But the third word in the middle, the second word, I guess, the word that's in the middle gets translated in so many different ways. Avodah, that word means a myriad of different things in our tradition. And literally, if you were to open up an English, a Hebrew-English dictionary, you would find all different translations of that word. So you would find the word avodah meaning to work. In fact, the word for slave in Hebrew is connected to the word for avodah. It means to do work. It also can be translated as simply acting in the world, doing something. And finally, it comes to a translation as well of sacrifice. And that's where things kind of go off the rails a little bit, right? So you have this word that means to work, and then it goes on to mean a whole different thing. It means sacrifice, literally sacrifice at the temple. And so it gets translated as well to pray. One word, meaning to act, to do, to work, to sacrifice, and to pray. And the rabbis actually say that what we do this evening, what we have been doing with our songs, with our intention to gather tonight, that is the work of avodah. And sometimes you'll see prayer not translated as tefillah, which is a more common word, but translated as avodah, as prayer. And what have we done this evening? We've simply shared a set of words with one another. Words not unlike that word avodah, back and forth, these words that we receive from our tradition and that we have shared this evening by reading, by singing. Well, this week, we roll our Torah all the way back to the beginning. And we read the words when God was in the act of creation. And it goes through describing the different parts of creation, and the way that things are created is with words. Words that come out, and God speaks out a word, and the thing is made in this world. And so I'd like to suggest something. In our tradition, the way that we act, the way that we do things is through our words. We create simply with our speech. We create a kind moment. We create a loving relationship. And we create an entire holiday of Shabbat just with a set of words. So I want to invite and thank you this evening for joining me in the task of avodah, of building, of doing, of sacrificing, and of praying as we create our holiday and our world together. Shabbat Shalom. Well, we have a tradition on the very first Shabbat of every month, and that is to have some celebrations. And so if there is anyone here who's joining us, and I actually want to mention for anyone who's joining us on Facebook and on YouTube, that if you would like to participate in this, we would love to welcome you. If you are able to switch over to tilb.org and click on the live stream link at the top, we can actually see that chat. And I invite you to participate in this. I'm going to bring up this nifty, I don't want to say the brand name. It is a tablet computer to be able to see what you are sharing online. But anyone who is here, for all of us, if you are celebrating a moment in your family, an anniversary, if you are celebrating a birthday, and we are in the month of October, so if you have your birthday that falls in the month of October, we want to celebrate with you. So I want to invite you to actually, why don't you go ahead and stand up if you are able and willing to stand up, and we want to celebrate with you. We want to celebrate this birthday, this sacred moment. I'm gonna ask Joel. All right. So, and I was going to say, yeah, and not how many years either, right? Yeah. Okay. Well, we want to celebrate with you. So let's go around the room. Bill. So we will be celebrating our 22nd wedding anniversary. Hey. October 99.
What? October what? Aww.
By the way, that was about right. Like, I think if we didn't have the number just from the conversation, we might have been able to, Mazel tov, congratulations. Ray. Hey,
Wow.
happy birthday to Alana. Happy birthday. You do not have to say the year. We know that we are celebrating the anniversary of your 29th birthday. Happy birthday. Is this Molly and Joel together? Molly, you are welcome to stand up. I just didn't know if you had. Okay, emotional support.
So, the Cantor and I will be celebrating our wedding anniversary on October 26th.
Hey, mazel tov. Mazel tov. Congratulations. Corey.
My husband was asking me why I'm standing up here, but we will be celebrating our anniversary in October. 17 years.
Maybe we should send an email out before the service.
Be prepared to know your anniversary date.
Mazel tov. Congratulations. And online we have, okay, let's see. We have some wishes for happy birthday. And Sean Solis has a birthday on October 17th. Lori Gerstmann, October 4th. You'll be the 6-0. Mazel tov. Congratulations. And Sarah Gerstmann on October 12th will be 22. Happy birthday.
Wow.
Happy birthday. Well, let's sing together. Let's
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh. Amen.
And we do have one more quick melody for this particular set of celebrations. I wonder if we might be able to sing Happy Birthday together. Are we? Okay, all right. So,
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear October birthdays. Happy birthday to you. And many more.
on channel. Happy birthday, everyone. Happy birthday. So we have even more to celebrate, even more that we are able to join together for. And so this evening we have announcements. I'd like to call up a member of our board of directors, Karen Ben Shmuel, to offer some announcements for us this morning. Yeah, I feel like cheering. As we celebrate and take note of all the different ways for us to engage this coming.
Shabbat Shalom.
Okay, our Saturday morning Torah study meets in person and on Zoom. Classes start at 8:45, and tomorrow's class will be led by Rabbi Fox. Tomorrow's Shabbat morning services begin at 10:30, and we'll celebrate with the Brackman family, Mazel Tov, the bar mitzvah of Daniel. Very exciting. If you're not joining us at Torah study or Shabbat morning services, we have something else for you. Please consider supporting the March for Reproductive Rights in Long Beach. We have a Temple Israel group meeting at the courthouse at 9:45, and the march begins at 10. Look for the blue balloons and the Temple Israel banner. On Sunday, October 3rd at 1:30 p.m., join us at the Q Films Festival in support of the LGBTQ Center Long Beach for the Temple Israel movie, and it's called Marry Me However. See more information at qfilmfestival.com. I'm sorry, there's a lot of announcements, so bear with me, please. Later on Sunday, Rabbi Fox is joining Justin Rudd for the Interfaith Blessing of the Animals, which I hear is very fun every year. This will be taking place at Dog Beach in Long Beach at 5:30 p.m., so that's on Sunday. Our men's Minyan discussion group meets every Tuesday at 9:30, and you can contact Alan Lillian if you're interested in attending. On Tuesday, October 5th at 7 p.m., we have our Joys of Jewish Learning class called Home Cooking and Crowd Pleasers, Cinnamon Creme Cake, and Cheddar Biscuits. Sounds pretty good. At the home of Justin Rudd, and please call the office to reserve your spot. This Wednesday, our Musar study group will be getting together at 9:45 a.m., and also our social justice book group at 11 a.m. On Thursdays at 7:30 in the morning, we have meditative morning minyan experience with Bill Shafton, and that's available on Zoom. Our Tanakh study group also meets on Thursday at 10:15, and if you'd like to participate, you can contact Maureen. I always say her name wrong. I'm so sorry, Martine. Such a nice lady. Next Shabbat, Friday, October 8th, following our 7 p.m. service, it's at 7 that week, join us as we welcome our Lapid Shapiro Scholar in Residence, Rabbi Lee Breisel. I'm sorry, I mispronounced that as well. Who will be making a presentation about refugees in America, stories of courage, resilience, and hope. Rabbi will also be joining us all of next weekend for several programs, so please feel free to join us. Information about all the programs are available online in the JJL catalog and in our October Kol Yisrael, which was emailed out this afternoon. If you ever have a question about how to attend any of our classes or programs, please look for the emails, or you can always call the temple office, and the staff is more than happy to help you. Shabbat Shalom, everyone, and Mazel Tov again to your family.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Karen. Always amazed at everything that's going on in a week, and if I may, I want to make a small plug for yet another thing that's taking place. A week from today, we'll be jumping into a musical Shabbat service as well, and so we actually, just this week, we're kind of dreaming together, putting this musical experience together, and so an invitation to join us next week for that as well. Well, anytime we gather, we know that there is strength in being with one another. And so I would like to actually invite us to turn our thoughts this evening now to those in our community who are in need of healing. And that is a healing of the body or a healing of the mind, a healing of the spirit or a healing of the soul. We know that we find healing not just in offering these words, in finding a place to anchor ourselves, but in strength in connecting and being with one another, finding strength to offer healing directly to those in need as well. If you are joining us online, I'd like to invite you on tilb.org, the website, on the live stream, to list the names of those in the chat that you are thinking of as a part of our healing prayer. Together, we are thinking of Miriam Elisheva, Colleen Carver, Darren Hammer, Steve Gratch, Laura Bleiberg, Harriet Ellis, Bob Wallace, Shoshana Ariella Elisheva, Bob Bender, Wendy Bender, Dorothy Kay, Joshua Kay, Marlene Sanchez, Lori Gerstman, Renee Simon, David Sachs, Art Levine, Charlotte Axel, Leah Pask, Burton Gifford, Kim Gifford, Jordan Gifford, Brandon Barry, Marcella Gersh, Randy Holbert, Wade Chernick, Sandra Chernick, Don Kaiser, Barbara Wieglein, Yaakov Ben Eliyahu V'Yehudit, Erwin Spiegel, David Randall, Danny Grief, Sharon Eisner, Janice Robbins, Brian Edelman, Cheryl Fossum, Bill McDaniel, Ellie Brooks, Andrew Palea, Mark Briggs, Bertha Spears, Mike Molly, Linda Allen, Julie Raphael Wood, Rachel Herman, Janice Kranz, Mindy Raphael Hyde, Larry Blum, David Roman, David Keene, Richard Mills, Anita Noriga, Leon Bland, Carlos Sanchez, Rosalind Daskal, Christina Kubelka, Julie Dahlin Garner, Nadine Picard, and Tut Kempel. We add to those Karen Bleich, Karen Feinberg, and Stephen Siegel. If you are thinking of someone this evening here in this sanctuary, you'd like to share the name of that person here or elsewhere, I'd like to invite you to share their name as my eyes pass across our sanctuary tonight.
Hannah Bat-Hannah and Mel Birkin.
We continue offering traditional words of healing, Mishaberach, on page 253 of our prayer books.
Nekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema. The renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say,
We continue now with the words of Aleinu on page 282. Page 282 of our prayer books. I'd like to invite us to rise in body or in spirit.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula le'yotzer breshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגור עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Please be seated. Our thoughts now turn to those in our community who have died in recent days or in this season in years past. And so if you are joining us on the website on tilb.org, I'd like to invite you to share the names of those that you are thinking of this Shabbat in the chat now. Together our hearts go out to those who are observing Shloshim, the 30 days after the death of someone near to them. We think of those near to Laura Bickle, and we think of those near to Gitele Mizrahi. We think of Ariella and Mark, Raquel, Hannah, and Amanda. And we think of those near to Adele, Loretta, Mihan. We think of Jonathan and Lynn. We think of Sarah and Jillian and Max. And we think of those near to Jakob Bassner. And we think of those near to Alan Love. We think of Willow and Nikki and Jackson and Bill and Christina. We additionally mark the art site, the anniversary of the death of Arthur Albin, Joshua Alpern, Jacob Berman, Diane Feek, Michael Heim, Nancy Jonas, Barry Karp, Gwendolyn Kincaid, Miriam Kroll, Melvin Lubman, Seymour Marino, Harry Oster, Charlotte Rabin, Paula Sachs, Ruth Schultz, Lillian Shapiro, Frida Spatz, Flora Ruth Spellins, Nathan Tall, Harold Warren, and Wendy Warren. If you are here and thinking of someone near to you, I would like to invite you to share the name of that person as my eyes pass across the room. We think as well of Amanda Michelle Ross, Valerie Miller, Nancy Morris, and Amanda Michelle Ross. We hold all these people in our hearts. Together we offer the words of the Mourner's Kaddish, which are on page 294 of our prayer books. I'd like to invite you to rise in body or in spirit. Yitgadal, v'yitgadash shemei rabba, be'alma divrach yirutei ve'amlich malchutei, v'chayechon uvyomechon uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'gala uvizman kariv ve'imru, amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach leolam olmei maya, Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh. Itadar v'italev v'talal shemei dekudisha barichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tush b'chata v'nechamata. Damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya. V'chaim alinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. Osei shalom b'mramav. Hu ya'aseh shalom. Alinu v'al kol Yisrael. V'al kol yoshvei tevel. V'imru. Amen. Zichronam livracha, may the memories of those near to us always be a source of blessing. I invite us together to say, Amen. Will we continue singing for peace as we bring peace into our hearts and into our evening? The words are on the very bottom of that same prayer. Invite us to join together.
Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Alleluia. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Oh, say shalom. Bimromav. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh, hu ya'aseh shalom. Alleluia. 1, 2, 3, 4. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down. May the one who makes peace bring peace down, bring peace down.
A special thank you to David York for his beautiful and powerful music this Shabbat. David, thank you. And a thank you as well for Bill joining us as well, of course. Wishing everyone a sweet Shabbat. Let's continue that sweetness just outside of our sanctuary, just outside of our synagogue. We will join together for a little bit of Kiddush, adding to the sweetness of this day and placing it right there on our lips. Wishing everyone a good and sweet Shabbat Shalom. For everyone who is joining us online, we invite you to lift up and offer a blessing for something sweet. Wishing everyone a Shabbat Shalom, a Shabbat of goodness, of sweetness. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Your Circle. It was just the Hashkivenu. I had certain songs that I always do in the yeah. I always do them. Yeah. And you can play anytime. Good job. Thank you.